بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Inshallah ta'ala, I want to speak about a very important topic that I think affects all طلاب العلم and those who want to become طلاب العلم and those who want to study in the Islamic universities all over the Middle East, in particular Saudi Arabia. And what I want to talk about is this issue of al-fashal, or failing. Okay, a person becoming what do you call it? If you like, يعني they say يعني هو مفصول عن الدراسة. The person has been kicked out of the university, or a person who's left the university. What are the reasons for failure in many Western students? Why do many Western students fail when it comes to studying in the Islamic University of Al-Madinah or other jami'at in Saudi? Because the model is basically the same. I would say that the number one reason, or one of the reasons, I wouldn't say number one, but one of the reasons is many people are in love with the idea of ilm and don't enjoy ilm itself. Many people like the idea of wearing the white thobe, wearing the shimar, somebody having the bisht, and somebody talking about كذا من أهل السنة and this and that, and يعني السلف الصالح and this and that. But he has no true interest in ilm. He's not even inclined towards ilm. He has no interest in the Arabic language. He has no interest in fiqh. He has no interest in hadith, the science of hadith, the early books of al-hadith, for example. من هو أول من ألف في الحديث, for example. Who's the first person to write in hadith? Or who's the first person to write in usul al-fiqh, for example? He doesn't have no interest in this. When Abdul Rahman ibn Mahdi went to Shafi'i and said, give us a book that we can understand al-am wal-khas wal-mutlaq wal-muqayyad, he has no interest in this. He doesn't have an interest in knowledge. What he enjoys is the optics. He likes the optics of knowledge. He likes the optics of things like that, of things basic similar to this, like ilm. Like he likes the optics of what appears to be seeking ilm, the white thobe and things. He ends up going to the Jami'ah and realizes for several hours of the day he's locked up in his own room. Maybe he's going to go to the Haram, or if he's in the Riyadh or Qasim, he's going to go to another, he's going to go, and between the Jami'ah and his dars, there's many hours, and he's on his own. And he's realized the gravity of the decision that he's taken. And a lot of the time, this leads to a talib al-ilm, or potential talib al-ilm, or someone who shouldn't have been a talib al-ilm in the first place, failing their time in Saudi because they realize that thing is not for them. So my nasiha would be, try to seek as much ilm as you can before you go to the Jami'ah. That's what I would say. Whether that's Arabic language, other durus, muhadarat, as much as you can before you go to the Jami'ah. Okay. The second thing I would say is a reason for failure with طلاب العلم is no interest to study mutun al-ilmiyya or memorize them. In order for you to progress in ilm, you need to follow the tariqah of the ulama before you. And one of the ways, one of the turuq of في تحصيل العلم, in gaining knowledge, is following the methodology of the people that went before you. So تناول صغار العلم قبل كباره, getting the smaller points, the rudiments of knowledge before you go to, for example, khilaf al-ali, levels of dispute, high levels of dispute, judicial dispute between the fuqaha, for example. So you might find that talib al-ilm, he goes and studies the wrong thing first. He's not taking the advice. You'll find a talib will come to the Jami'ah, okay? And you'll give them advice when they first arrive. When they first arrive, you'll give them advice. How to operate in the country, how Saudi works, how to go here, how to go there. And sometimes you'll notice some tulab, everything you say to them goes over their head. Everything goes over their head. They've already made their mind up of how they want to kind of interact and work in the Jami'ah. Now, the reason why these mutun are very important is because when you do a matin in nahu, a matin in fiqh, a matin in usul, a matin in aqidah, and so on and so forth, what you realize is what the ulama says, al-ilmu yashuddu ba'duhu ba'da. Knowledge strengthens itself. Every aspect of knowledge is intricately linked to the other part. And the more you study one science, the more you study, you will understand another. So if you understand some masail of aqidah, you'll understand some masail of usul. And when you understand some masail of usul, when you come to learn mustalah al-hadith, it'll become easy because in the books of usul, they talk about things like tahammul al-hadith and things like that. So al-ilmu yashuddu ba'duhu ba'dah. Knowledge, parts of knowledge strengthen other parts. But you might have a talib al-ilm, maybe he loves a person, a particular shaykh, or he loves the science of hadith, for example, and he just goes straight into that. And he leaves everything behind. Or he goes straight into usul, or straight into tafsir. And then what you find is that when it goes back to going back to his community, he's not able to benefit them the way he should have if he studied in the correct way. Okay? Another thing that affects a talib al-ilm is not wanting to learn the Arabic language, or not having a love or a desire or persistence in learning it. Wanting to be lazy. A person, a talib al-ilm that's lazy in the Arabic language, lazy in reading. How many tullab did I come across in the ma'had? I remember I asked one talib, have you ever read a book from cover to cover in Arabic? He said, I've never read a book ever in Arabic from cover to cover. You know, and I was shocked, for example. And what are you doing here? You are stopping somebody who wants to study from being here. Okay? You need to have a desire to learn the Arabic language, because in terms of your ilm, you will only go as far as your Arabic takes you. You'll only go as far as your Arabic takes you. If your Arabic is weak, you're going to struggle in fiqh, because when it comes to learning, when it comes to studying fiqh now, you have to learn all of basically Islamic law from cover to cover. So you're going to be studying in jinayat the human body. Even when it comes to the ahkam of tahara, you're going to be learning about some parts of the human body, for example. Of what, for example, makes a person fall into a state of janaba. When you're studying the ahkam of hayd, the what do you call it, the rulings of the menstrual cycle, you're going to learn about the entire human body. In the kitabul, when you study, for example, fiqh, and you go through the book of, what do you call it, marriage, you're going to learn about, for example, ahkam al-rada'a, you know, the breastfeeding and things like that, and wet nurses. You're going to come across a plethora of words in Arabic. And Arabic is already a language of synonyms. And it's lugha ishtiqaqiyya. It's a language of derivatives, root words. And if you're already struggling at the first hurdle, and you don't like the Arabic language, you have to ask yourself, to what extent are you going to be able to really grasp ilm? Because Arabic, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been revealed, bilisanin arabiyyin mubin, clear Arab tongue, clear Arab speech, and it's very important that you try your best to learn that. The last thing I will say is ta'jeel. Ta'jeel is when a student, what do you call it? Delays their studies. I remember when I first came in my first day in Qasim, we sat down in a brother's house who was in the master's program, and one of the nasa'ih he gave to us was, do not take ta'jeel. Do not take a break and go and take do not take a semester off or something, because you're going to stop the flow. You come to the country, you're new to the place, you learn the area, you're just about acclimatizing to that place, and then you go back home. It doesn't work like that. You're not going to be the same frame of mind. There's another mas'ala of ta'jeel that a lot of brothers do and they might not think strongly about. If you do ta'jeel and you're doing a book with a sheikh, with an alim in the masjid, kitab al-tawheed, aqidah wasatiyya, zad al-mustaqni', what do you call it, mukhtasar something mukhtasar in usul al-fiqh, mukhtasar al-rawda, or just something like that, okay? Then if you take ta'jeel, that sheikh is going to finish that book. So you're going to now just be studying incomplete books, which is not something that you want to do. Ta'jeel is not good. Stay in the thick of it and get through your year. Stay in the thick of it and get through your barnamij. Don't start and stop and start and stop, because you will not have the same amount of jet fuel that you have now. You're not going to feel the same way when you're 5 years into the Jami'ah, 6 years into the Jami'ah. So you need to get as much as you can, as much ilm, as much tahsil as you can, in as much time as you, in the shortest time possible. And you don't know if you're going to make it to those 6 years. So ta'jeel is something that I don't think a person should do. Okay? And these are some of the reasons that I believe students fail in their studies abroad, in Saudi Arabian universities and Islamic departments. For those who want to know more about us, we are Taqsil Institute, an institute that teaches Islamic sciences. I am the founder, Khalid Hassan. I'm a graduate from the Faculty of Sharia, and I'm also studying a BA in law. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put barakah in this video. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, and follow us here with the links provided below. نكتفي بهذا القدر وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.